Hi everyone, my name is Jess and I live in Salt Lake City, Utah. I wanted to welcome you to today's service from wherever you are in the world. I also wanted to give a shout out to my GP Care group that helps me feel connected through the online community here at Grace Point. We're so excited that you've joined us today, and we want you to know that here at Grace Point, no matter who you are, who you love, or how you exist in the world, you are welcomed, celebrated, and loved. Enjoy the service.
Yes, welcome, celebrated, and loved all of you are. Will you stand with us today? Welcome to Grace Point. We're so glad that you have joined us today. We want to hear you singing these songs. Hopefully you'll know them. If not, we have lyrics behind us. They're easy to catch on with. Here we go. Maker of eternity, right here and now. Creator of all that we see, with us somehow. I cannot explain such mysteries. Who could ever know what this all means? The God of the universe all around. Come on, y'all sing. God is with us join the chorus. God is on our side. Everything is gonna be alright. God is on our side. The giver of every breath, breathing in us, the heartbeat of life itself, waking us up. And I cannot explain such mysteries. Who could ever know what this all means? The visible image of God is our love. Oh, God is with us, God is for us, God is on our side. Let all who will hear join the chorus. God is on our side. Everything is gonna be alright. God is on our side. And all of creation is joining the sound. Let liberation explode from the ground. Oh, lift up your voice, make it loud. God is with us, God is for us, God is on our side, God is on our side. That's right. Oh, God is with us, God is for us, God is on our side. Come on, sing it again. God is with us, God is with us, God is for us. Oh, God is on our side. Yeah, God is with us. Oh, God is for us, God is on our side. Yeah, God is with us, God is for us, God is on our side. Let all who will hear join the chorus. God is on our side. Everything is gonna be alright. God is on our side. Yeah, God is on our side. Oh, God is on our side. Y'all sound great today. You look awesome. We're so glad that you're here. We want you to take a couple of minutes and do what we like to call a meet and greet. Meet your neighbor, have a conversation, maybe introduce yourself to someone new. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Ooh, sorry. My name is Amanda, and I've got some announcements for you. Lots of fun things happening. Before I talk about announcements, I want to do the thing I forget to do literally every single week, which is acknowledge the online community. Everyone say good morning to the online folks. Glad you're here. Okay, if you scan the QR code that's either on your screen or on the card that's nearest to you, you're going to get buttons for everything I'm going to talk about. There's a button there for weekly announcements, a button for connection cards. That connection card can be used to sign up for our newsletter, learn how to get plugged in, all the good stuff. We don't email you a ton. It's usually just like 1 or 2 a week. We're not like that. You know what I mean? We want your email, but not like that. If you're looking to get involved here at Grace Point, the operation team needs your help. You'll be an extra pair of hands to help with the load-in, like pulling everything out from the van. Everything that we use for church, we put in boxes and put on a van, and then the van leaves the premises, and then it comes back, and then we have to unload. And many hands make light work, right? So if a bunch of us stay and help, it takes like 5 minutes. And if no one stays and helps, it takes a lot longer than 5 minutes. So if you want to be a part of that team, you can email emily.wire@gracepoint.net, or you can find Emily at the end of the service. She's usually running, sprinting around. So if you see the track star running around, that's Emily. You can flag her down and be like, how can I help you? Hunter Wade is hosting a 3-session group study entitled Her, A Feminist Approach to Scripture. This study explores 5 central tenets to reading the Bible with a feminist lens. Everyone's welcome because everyone can be a feminist. The last session is this Thursday, November 10th. It's going to be offered in person and online. So fill out a form, or you can email hunter@gracepoint.net if you need physical address, or if you want recordings for the other 2 sessions. You can get those with Hunter. If you are in your late teens, early college age, currently in college age, we are starting a gathering outside of Sunday mornings for college kids to kind of get together, talk about faith, and just kind of hang out and be best friends. College, when I went through college, I went to Freed-Hardeman University, which is a fundamentalist Christian university, and there's a lot there. But in college, was having lots of questions and really would have liked a buddy or 2 to kind of comb through that with, and so that's what this is. But also just hanging out and being friends, not youth group, not a Bible study, just kind of like a community to explore issues with and kind of talk through things with. If you're interested in that, you can talk to Tiffany or Josh, and they can help you get plugged in with that. Finally, we have a save the date. Our holiday party is Sunday, September 18th. More details September, that's what my announcements say. I'm gonna guess it's December. That's what I'm gonna guess. Also, speaking of important things, Tuesday is a really important day. We have a lot of stuff going on in this state, and your vote matters. Tuesday is election day. Get out, take to the polls, and let all the people in power know that we have voices that matter. So don't forget to vote. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Okay, y'all, I didn't want to just throw that on you, but I talked about Christmas for Kids a couple of weeks ago, and it's truly hard to describe without you seeing it, so I wanted you to see a little bit of what it actually looks like with 70 tour buses and 400 to 500 kids. So that's what it looks like. If anybody's interested in volunteering, you can go to the website and do that. If you have any questions, just see me later. Thanks, guys.
Hey everybody, it's so good to see you. Welcome to Grace Point. We're thrilled you're here. My name's Josh, I'm the lead pastor here. And today I get to talk to you a little bit about giving. Before we collectively groan, part of your giving this quarter goes to Christmas for Kids. And that's a commitment we make as a community that every quarter we support a different organization that's doing good in the world. And so that's part of where your giving goes. Your giving goes to do really great things in the world. My family and I, we are recurring givers here at Grace Point, and I share that with you to say I'm not up here asking you to do anything that our family's not doing. And it's weird because I'm employed here, right? But we would give regardless of whether or not we're employed here because this community matters. The work we're doing in the world matters. We're providing a safe place, a healing place, a place to reimagine, reframe, and reclaim our faith, to explore what it might mean to have a faith beyond dogma and doctrine, a faith beyond fear and shame, a faith that calls us to be our best human selves and not feel terrible about our human selves. And so that's what we're doing here at Grace Point. If you would like to make that happen with us, we are currently in the process of planning next year's budget, Collective Grown, because everybody's doing that in the world right now, and it's exhausting for all of us, right? Wherever you're working, if you're working on a budget, you know what that's like. But as we're thinking about next year, we're thinking about what can we do as a community to let people know we're here? What can we do to serve our community more and better? What can we do to bring about human flourishing in the world? And the way we partly do that is through our collective resources going to do good things. So if you would like to be a part of that, we have it on the screen. You can scan the QR code, which apparently is not cool anymore, but I just learned about them recently. You can text Grace Point with an E to 77977. You can give online, gracepoint.net/give, or you can send to Venmo, Grace Point with an ETN. Thanks so much for being here today. We're glad to see you. Thanks, Josh. Thanks, Ricky.
I'd like to invite you all to stand again, if you will. We're going to do a beautiful song. And again, we'd love for you to join with us and sing.
Captivated by you. Your love surrounds me, the walls that came down are the proof. Once I was lost, it's true. Now I'm just lost in you. I am held and I am free. What a beautiful mystery. I belong, I believe, I am held and I am free. I was a wanderer, now I'm just in wonder of you. I was so restless, but I found my rest in your truth. You took me as I was, traded my chains for love. I am held and I am it's true. Now I'm just lost in you.
Sing it with us.
I am held and I am free. What a beautiful mystery. I belong. I believe I am held and I am free. Yes, I am held and I am free. Yeah. I belong. I believe. I am held and I am free.
You can have a seat. Thank you.
Just don't look.
I think you're on now.
Hello. Oh. Good morning. You like the dramatic music as I walk up? Okay. Hello. Actually, good morning in person and online. I'm Tiffany, she, they. I am our director of kids and students and now college ministry. I just took that on, by the way. That was I just wanted it. So if you're a college student, for real, let's talk about life. So, one, I'm nervous all the time. And so there will never be a time that I speak that I'm not nervous, so don't expect this to change in the future. I also get nervous with our kids and our students and all the things. So I'm trying really hard to work on my own breath of like, slow down. Me being nervous is not bad. It is not fear, it's not anxiety, it's not like anything other than I am so ridiculously excited because you are adults and you're over 3 foot tall and like, I'm gonna switch voices instead of saying, hey friends. Actually, probably not, but it's gonna be okay. And so I'm really excited that you're here. And so for those of you who, like, this is your first Sunday with us, we are in a season, a very long series. It's not that long, but in my world, it is very long. And this series, we've been looking at Brian McLaren's book, Naked Spirituality. It's 12 simple words of like our faith life. And so every Sunday, there's been a word that we've introduced, and we've talked about that word. And that's it. So for those of you who are like, I have no clue what you're talking about, don't worry. I'm going to give you like a catch-up phrase, okay? Not ketchup, but like, anyway, very visual, and I just saw bottles of ketchup. Okay, so seasons of life, right? And here's the preface I'm going to give everyone, is that we are literally all in different seasons of life. So let's just start with that base, okay? And that is the expectation. You are to show up as you are with what you are and how you are, okay? So if there are pieces of this that do not resonate, it's okay. And it's perfectly fine because there is no expectation when you walk in other than just to exist, okay? So if that is what you need, you have full permission, and you never needed that permission from anyone standing on a stage or anyone with a title or anything like that. You did not need that. You simply get to be here and exist. And if you are in spaces where you're still deconstructing or you have lots of questions, stay there. And if you are in spaces where you're like, I tore it all down and I don't know what to do now, that's fine too. And if you are in spaces where you're like, you know what? I'm good and I'm at peace. All of that is valid, all of it belongs, and every piece of that is holy. And so that's where we're going to start. So here's the seasons we've gone through. We've gone through the seasons of simplicity, where we reach out to God in happiness, thanks, and the word that he uses is O, which is like worship. This really simple base place of reaching out to God. And then we move into complexity, reaching out to God and struggle. Words like sorry and help and please. And I guarantee you we have felt that, or we would not be in places like Grace Point. And then the season of perplexity, the season of unraveling and deconstructing. And that's what Josh talked about last. And so we're moving into a new season. Now, seasons of perplexity, I want to focus on that for a second, because in progressive theology, that has a tendency to be where we stay. It's a place where what we believed no longer works for us in some way, shape, or form. Like something about it is just not the thing anymore. Maybe things have been chipped away at your theology or your understanding. Maybe the way you did faith is just not resonating with you. Or maybe for the first time, you're like, I don't have a clue what I believe if I believe anything. And if I believe something, I don't know what to name it. And then what do we do with Jesus? And then all these things start unraveling. And it's like, what about communion and baptism and church and denominations and pastors? And y'all, I embody what so many people think that is toxic in the church. And what I mean by that is I am literally a kids pastor and a youth pastor. And if you go on any social media, everyone hates me. I am the reason that people are deconstructing. And I'm like, that's fine, it's just a title. And I agree. So much terrible things have happened in our kids and our youth, which is why it's so important here that we acknowledge our kids and our youth, because I will tell you, the beautiful thing is they are not deconstructing. There may be things that they've been exposed to, and you as a parent or guardian may have been the one that put them in that environment, and guess what? You're okay, and they're okay. Like, they will be okay. And the reason they're going to be okay is because the adults who love them, the people in this room and online, this community is doing the hard work to show them that there's hope. And to me, that is church. And so as us, as people who've like done a lot of work, we're going to move into a new season. And this new season is harmony. Now, I'm just going to address some people in the room who may struggle with the words I'm going to say. Some of us like task and structure and order and schedules and a full plan. Those of you who know me know that that is not what I do, okay? So I thrive in this space where there is no answer and there is no concrete anything. And I think this is why we get stuck in deconstruction and through the progressive lens. Because we tore something down, it was tangible and it's gone, and for most of us, it's still laying out there in some way, shape, or form. And then there's this fear of like, do we pick it back up and do we rebuild something else? But what if we have to tear it down again? And there's this cycle that keeps happening. So I'm going to tell us all to just take a deep breath. Like literally, just take in your deep breath, relax your shoulders, unclench your jaw, and just let go for a second. This is harmony. It is not apathy. It is not fully letting go. It is just a moment of being mindful. And I think mindfulness is one of the hardest things that we can do as Americans, Western culture, and especially as Christians. And I struggle with this. People think I'm very laid back and go with the flow. Those of you who really know understand that actually I'm really good at masking those pieces. Because I have to constantly remind myself to like breathe and to be aware of my surroundings. And so it feels like it's a big jump between deconstruct and peace. But the reality of it is it's not. Harmony is found in that transition. Harmony is found in this space where we no longer have to have this dualistic thinking. I am going to mess up this line, Abby. Man, what is it? Exactly. I'm not a captive, but I'm captivated. So I asked Ricky what songs we were singing without him knowing anything, what I was going to talk about. And that's the song. And so I went to the video and like looked it up because I was like, lyrics, I like words. And if you have not like paid attention to those words, like one, I want you to go like YouTube and like see the video of Abby talking about the song, because like I watched it and heard these words, and honestly it like changed a lot of what I was thinking, which is okay, because what I'm getting to deconstruct is how do we do church? Because you do sermons in a certain way, and guess what? I threw that all out the window, and I am not sure if it works. But I was listening to it, and I was listening to this thing of like, I'm not a captive, but I'm captivated. Like those don't feel like they go together. And the reality of it is they do. It's this mindfulness of sitting still and being in this moment with God, the divine, whatever you want to call that, wherever you are. And that's enough. And that is so ridiculously hard for me individually to hold on to. Because I know that the expectation of Christianity, of staff members at a church, someone who's going to be able to speak, is a certain thing in your head. It's a certain thing in my head. And for me to tear all of that down and to be like, is it okay that I'm not taking a single script of text and dissecting that and feeding it to you so you now are a better theologian? Yes. And that is hard for me to say because someone else had to tell me that it was okay. And it's okay for me to have different beliefs in this moment than I did a week ago when I was prepping the sermon and going in a different direction. Because in harmony, it means this peace. It is this moment of relaxing and letting go. And that sounds wonderful. And it also feels fake and like it's not actually possible. And it doesn't feel possible as a season, or maybe it does for you, but for me, it doesn't feel possible. Because I have so many questions, doubts, fears, insecurities, things I will never tell my therapist, and let alone not tell you. Like, I know me very well, and I know the bad parts, and I also know the really, really good parts. And it just feels too much to put into this one season. And then you're going to tell me I'm going to come over here and it's going to be harmony and peace and things are going to be okay. That just feels like it's a trick. And I would imagine most of us have been tricked in some way, shape, and form by the church. And so, like, there has to be a trust moment. And so McLaren talks about that we don't arrive at harmony except through pain. And I think there's a piece of that that is real. You came to this space for whatever reason. Part of you are here because you love me and I invited you. Some of you showed up because I don't know. But the cool thing about that is that we show up as people. And so you, my friend, are ridiculously complex in a beautiful way, not in like a annoying, overwhelming way. You are complex. You have dreams, hopes, and fears. And for the most part, that's the thing that we think embody all of us, and that's not true. You are also this combination of all the things you've experienced in life, and I think we are a combination of all these other people who we've invited into our lives. Like, I am not just me. I am all of my friends and how they've loved me. I am not just the good pieces of that either. I am also the hurt and the pain and the trauma, but I'm at a space where that trauma does not inform my future in any way, shape, or form. And it's not because I healed or I did anything like that. It's because, for me, I decided to let go of some things because I didn't want to deal with it anymore. So for me, that's my rebuilding. For me, I still love Jesus a lot, which is actually like a new thing in my faith. As the evangelical, I faked it, to be very honest. like a lot. I didn't know what to do with Jesus, and so I was like, didn't talk about Jesus. I talked about God a lot. And in the new understanding of like, how do we live out our faith and love, like Jesus makes total sense to me. Like the words Jesus says make so much sense because the way we teach kids about Jesus, here's the point where you know kids are like getting it, is when you ask them a question, and instead of them saying Jesus, they give you the answer Jesus would say, which is always the opposite of what everyone wants to say. So like when you tell people, the first shall be last, there is no one in this room that is in the first of a line that wants to be told, you are in the back now. No, that doesn't feel good. Like if you were in line for Taylor Swift concert tickets and you are first and the world says, guess what, you're the last, there are so many feelings that will come over you. Like, it is not good. Doesn't matter how much you love Jesus in that moment. It is not going to feel great. And what is fascinating is that's literally what Jesus says over and over again. Guess what? The thing you thought is not what it is. Because we have been conditioned in this dualistic thinking, good, bad, sin, whatever the opposite of not sin is. I don't know that word. Love, good, I don't know, pure, what, ooh, weird. Heaven, hell, like whatever it is, like we think it's this or that. And what's really cool is in the scriptures, when Jesus shows up in any story, okay, Jesus shows up and you have these ends of society. You always have the Pharisees and everyone they don't like, but they say they do, kind of. You very rarely have the Pharisees or the religious leaders show up with Jesus and there's not the other people that they've cast out. And very rarely does Jesus talk to the other people and the religious leaders aren't there. Jesus is this middle space, not in middle ground as in wavering or compromising, but a showing up together. It's a togetherness. And so for us, what does it look like when we deconstruct and we move into harmony and we no longer have to think this or that? It can be ridiculously overwhelming because we want answers. We want very concrete answers. And even as go with the flow people, I want concrete answers. I would love a book that tells me what to do now. And they may exist, but don't trust them. The reality of it is that we don't know. And I think there's peace in that. And I think the reason there has to be peace in that is because I would like for you to raise your hand if one day you would like to retire and not work for a living. Okay, guess what? Like, we all want that. We all are seeking rest. We are all seeking this moment where we don't have to have this schedule, where we don't have to have this certain way of life. We are literally all seeking that. And what's fascinating is that there is a very close link between capitalism and Christianity. And we like all kind of know that, but historically, Protestant work ethic, Google at some point, okay? Like, the blessings that God gives us used to be this idea that you are closer to God, and so work harder and you will get more and get more and get more and get more. And what if the point of life is not to safely arrive at death? But what if the whole point of life is to arrive at death, not even knowing that it's death, because you've been so in the moment with each other? And here's the thing. If hearing the word death sends you into this space of like, I don't know what to do with that, it's because we're dualistic thinking, because we have been told that death is opposite of life. And you are here because you allowed something to die. You are in deconstruction, faith shifts, in Grace Point, thinking of new things, having questions, because you intentionally took something that was so full of energy, whether it was good energy or not, that was supposed to be life-giving, and you intentionally cut it off to the point that it needed to crumble, that it needed to die. I do not think death is bad. And I think when we can step back and look and see that the way we used to think about this or that, when we can let go of that and simply exist, I think that's where we find peace. And I don't think we can get there without everything else. And I think some of us are. Like, we are there right now. And what is beautiful about that is not inherently tied to being a Christian. It does not mean you did this, now go be a pastor. If you want to be, like, we can talk about that. But, like, you can walk away from all religion at any point in time, and it's cool. And you can stay, and you can label yourself whatever you want. You can be spiritual, you can be agnostic, atheist, Christian, Buddhist. I don't care. Because that moment of letting go of everything and kind of opening our eyes to something new is universally, like, it's human. It is a thing that bonds us. It is a thing in other religions, like, that they have. They have space for you to ask questions and to have new understandings. There's a space for peace and meditation and focus. And if you are not a meditation-y person, you're like, I cannot do this. Yes, you can. And here is how. I want you to think for just, like, 5 seconds, okay? I'm going to invite you, if you choose and consent, to close your eyes. Ooh, yeah. Okay, place your feet on the ground. Okay. And if you don't want to do this, you are not forced because you have free will. Okay? And I want you to think for a moment, wherever you are, I want you to think about something that brings you joy. And I want to tell you from my experience right now, there are people smiling in this room. I want you to think about whatever image that you come up with of something that makes you feel connected to another person. Whether that is Thanksgiving meal that is about to happen, that is about to be awesome, or a holiday, or drinks with friends, or good conversation, or good music, or that one TikTok that you found that speaks to your soul. Whatever it is, I want you to think about that. Now I want you to breathe in. Don't forget to breathe out. Do it one more time. And on this last time, I want you to just focus on your breath. So breathe in and breathe out. Now open your eyes. That is all it takes. That is all it takes to be in a moment. And the thing is, you don't even have to do all of that. There's not like a right or wrong way to be focused. But I want you to go back to one moment that happened. When you close your eyes really, really tight, and you open them all of a sudden, you do not instantly see everything with clarity. There's like this thing that happens. And in Scripture, anytime Jesus heals someone of a vision impairment or whatever, don't worry about that part. Focus on this part. When they describe what is happening, they talk about how this person starts seeing shapes. It's not clear instantly. It is not this like beautiful like 20/20 vision, like you can see everything. It's kind of muddy at first, and it's kind of like you can't make out everything. And that, I think, is what actually our word for today is, which I haven't even told you. It's not harmony, by the way. That's just the season we're in. The word for today is behold. Now, confession. It is really hard, and I've practiced a lot to say behold without being like, behold, because that is how you should say behold. And it is in the Bible over and over and over again. They'll be like, behold, a child. That's Jesus, by the way. Behold, angels. Behold this, behold that. Literally, they're just saying, pay attention. Open your eyes. Look at this thing. And it's like that moment when you're sitting still and you open your eyes and you can see with clarity, maybe for the first time, maybe for the billionth time, but you can see for clarity in this one tiny moment, something new, or you pay attention to something. Behold is just this moment where we are trying to get like our attention on something. And so if you've deconstructed and you've laid it there on the ground and you don't know what to do with Jesus, but maybe you picked up Jesus and you're carrying Jesus with you, maybe this other piece of who you are and maybe this other piece of what we do next is just clarity. Sitting still, giving ourselves time and space to be aware of everything that is around us. And I'm going to repeat it 1 billion times, there is not a right or wrong way to do that. And we will have to keep reminding ourselves of that over and over and over again, because I promise you, we have been beat down to the point of saying this is how we do life. And we are trying something new, which means we will have to keep trying something new over and over and over again. And it's okay. And it's enough. And you are enough and you are capable. And here's the other thing I want to tell you is like you are like already where you need to be. At least I think you are. I don't know if you know that, but I am telling with whatever authority you will give me, like you are okay. You are exactly where you need to be in life, and you are exactly who you need to be, and it's just okay to just take moments to breathe. Friends, you do not have to keep working for love. And the truth is, you never had to work for it in the first place. It is okay to slow down. It is okay to not build something back. It is okay to want to hold on to your faith, because you're no longer like held to it. You are not captive to it anymore. But you can be captivated by this new thing that is happening. Every time I hear the word behold and like something new, I cannot help, and anyone who knows me in any religious settings knows probably the story I'm going to talk about next. It is going to be Moses in the burning bush, because I cannot imagine an image more amazing than this. Also, I like fire. So Bible stories with fire, sounds great. But imagine you in this scenario where something is on fire. I don't care who you are, you're gonna pay attention. Like, scared or enchanted by it. Like, it's exciting. And in that, it is not even being consumed. So that's another layer of like, what is going on? But like, that's not even like the point. The whole point is pay attention over here to this thing and come over here and let's hang out and let's talk about this because something cool is happening. And guess what? All throughout like religion, that happens over and over and over and over and over again. It's like, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. Look over here, look over here. And I think this happens with us all the time. We get so focused on us in this moment in time. Some of us are ready to pay attention to the things outside of us. Some of us are ready and at a space in like, we've done some work internally that we can say, behold, look over here at the people who are homeless, who are being arrested because they can't have housing. Like, that's stupid, first off. Like, that's a thing. Or behold, look, guess what? There are more laws about trans students not playing sports than there are trans students playing sports nationwide. That's a thing. That's stupid. Behold, look, that's happening. And that's just two things. And those are two American things. That's not even taking in the rest of the world. Behold all the stuff that is happening in other countries against women. Behold all the things that are happening with women and children. Behold all the things of oppression and sexism and racism and homophobia and all of the things. Behold all of that. And that can get so overwhelming if you take all of it in. The point isn't to save the world. Ooh, I know. I think the point is to breathe deep that we are one humanity. And there is something in my world that I can do and I can pay attention to, because not everyone in all of existence had a burning bush. Not everyone in the Bible got a burning bush. Moses apparently needed one. I would be a person that would need a burning bush. Like, in all transparency. Like, I will not do it unless it is a big, giant thing. And then I'll eventually convince myself. And I find myself to be compassionate and I care about justice, and I still need something because I'm still a person. I'm a person that gets overwhelmed, a person that takes on a lot. And so the point, like I said, is not to save the world, and it is not to safely arrive at death, and it is not safely to do anything or to do something beyond your means or something. There's not a point. Do you understand? Like, there is not one single point to any of this. And that, I think, is one of the hardest things in faith to do, because we have been told, and we've probably embodied, that there is a point. I think if there is a universal truth, it is that you are dearly loved. And you always have been. If there is a universal truth to the world, to faith, to humanity, to Christianity specifically, it is that God, creator, whatever name you want to give, for me it is God. God is love. And if I am created in the image of God, I am created in love. That's just logic. Like our kids get that. Okay? And so if I can't prove anything else, I don't have to. But I can embody love. And so there is this thing that will happen, and I promise I'm almost done. There's this thing that is going to happen that I'm just going to let you know is going to happen. It's not about arriving. Just because you deconstruct and you figure out some next steps, it doesn't mean you're there. And that's okay. You will have more moments of doubt and questions. You will have more moments of crying out to God in joy and excitement and thanks. And you will go right back through these seasons. And that is not bad. That is life, and it is beautiful. And it is beautiful because we hold it all together. If you have not seen the movie Inside Out, there's a moment where feelings get all mixed up colors-wise. You should, because it's a better analogy. And some of you are like, too much kids ministry. It's fine. They are amazing theologians. And the thing is, you are too. Like, you already know this. The reason I don't have to quote scripture today is because I think the gospel, the good news, is in this room. It is literally written in the lives that we share together. This is good news. You are loved. You have always been loved. You do not have to work for it. Resist the empire by taking a nap if you need to. I'm not joking. Do that. Like, do something that takes care of you. And that is okay. Build it back if you want. Leave it on the ground if you need to. Ask more questions. Heal as you need to heal. If you're not there, don't share. You don't have to. We don't have to lead with trauma. And if you want to name God, God, name God, God. And if you are not sure, do something else, and it's all okay. But the best thing about it is you don't have to have the answers. And to me, that is harmony, because that is peace. When I can hold on to something like this, and I have that moment that is really intense, and then I get to open my hands. That feeling, to me, that is holy. And so as we continue and we move and we grow in our faith, today, like literally in these moments as we sing and as we close, and as we go into the world and we do all those things, the gospel is this. It is living together. It is sharing of the good news that you are loved and you have always been loved. That you did not have to work for it, and you do not have to keep working for it. You did not have to earn it. It was freely given. And just to breathe. And to think about it. And when you mess up, because you're going to, no one's thinking about it as a mistake other than you. And you're okay. And most of all, what I want you to do is just remember that it's okay. And that seems simple, and it is so hard, friends. And there will be a time that the person next to you needs that, so remind them. Because I think the greatest thing we can do in life, the way you want to save the world, is reminding people that they are beloved. Because I think so many of us, salvation, being saved, whatever that was simply that our eyes were closed. We didn't know what was happening or what was capable, or we were capable of. We didn't know the actual power of love and God and what this looked like. So if you want to, I'm going to invite you to pray with me. And at the end of the prayer, typically you say amen. All that means is like, yes, I agree. And I'm going to invite you to join me in that only if you're like at a space that you think you can say, yeah, I want to be present, okay? It's just a consent. So if you will, pray with me. Creator God, I thank you for our shared humanity. I thank you for the life you give us, the breath you give us, the way that you invite us to love one another and to be beloved. So God, as we go from moment to moment, let us let go of all the things we're holding so tightly in our fist, and let us embrace your love, your grace, your mercy, whatever it is that we need from you. And let us know that it's okay to not throw out all of our faith and our religion, and it's okay to throw it all out if we need to. But most of all, remind us that we are connected with others. Remind us that harmony is this place of peace and an understanding that it's okay to not understand. And so, God, as one people with one breath, one body, created in love, we come to you, and all of God's people say, Amen.
I will trust in you.
Thank you.
And know that you are
Thank you.
with me.
Yeah, Josh is going to let me preach more.
Forever. I'll confide in you, 'cause you're the only answer that matters. Even in the darkness, you will be my light. Even when I'm hopeless, you will be my guide. I will not be shaken, I will not be moved. Even in the chaos, I know that you're good. You're the keeper, protector. It is you that holds us together when everything else fails us. It is you that holds us together. Oh, oh, ooh. I will trust in you, your thoughts and plans of me, they are good. Oh, I will wait on you. I know that you will see me through. Even in the darkness, you will be my light. Even when I'm hopeless, you will be my guide. I will not be shaken, I will not be moved. Even in the chaos, I know that you're good. 'Cause you're the keeper, protector. It is you that holds us together when everything else fails us. It is you that holds us together.
You're the keeper.
You're the keeper, protector. It is you that holds us together when everything else fails us. It is you that holds us together. Hold us together. You're the keeper, protector. It is you that holds us together when everything else fails us. It is you that holds us together. You're the keeper,
Protector.
protector. It is you that holds us together when everything else fails us. It is you together.
Before I give you your benediction, if you could help us with the tables and chairs in the back, that would be much appreciated. Your benediction today comes from an artist that I really enjoy. Her name is Cami Zaya, I believe. On Instagram, she's at Zaya Inc. And she says, I like the phrase that says, nothing in nature blooms all the time. It makes me think about how nature takes a break from growth, knowing that first it must shed the last season. Shake off the excess, become bare to recalibrate, and apologize for nothing. Grace Point, we love you, and we're proud of you. Have a great week.